Raider Nation, what's going on? It's mailbag time here. I am Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report. I'm going to be answering questions from our live show, which was recorded on May 15th, so please keep that in mind if anything has changed. The questions that you see on today's program are all from loyal subscribers that watch this program, and the way that you can get your questions on the show. Super Chat, guaranteed to get on. Use hashtag Raiders. The way that you would format that question is being like, hashtag Raiders, should the Raiders go out and trade for Jalen Ramsey? Which I imagine we get a question around Jalen Ramsey today. Let's go to the first one coming in from Richard. New John Madden, Al Davis movie coming out soon. I can't wait to watch this. My question to the nation is this. Are you more interested to see how Nicolas Cage plays John Madden or how Christian Bale plays Al Davis? I think I'm a little bit more interested to see the John Madden route. It is called Madden after all. Let's go to Samuel. What up? My inside source tells me they're trying Laki Tassi out at the offensive line. I do always think the NFL is a copycat league, and the fact that maybe the most successful international pathway program player ever, Jordan Mailata. From who? Philadelphia Eagles. The fact that the Raiders also just hired two guys from Philadelphia, maybe that's telling us something that we don't know. But he's a monster human being, 6'6", 350 pounds. I mean, look at him next to Pete Carroll. He's just a monster of a human being. But I also do wonder if you can perfect something. And Jordan Mailata was a big reason why the Eagles perfected the tush push. And I do think that the NFL is a copycat league. And the fact that the Raiders also went out and got a J.J. Pegues. Imagine if the NFL, the Raiders know something that goes, you know what? If teams are already trying to prevent the tush push, let's prepare for it. What's a good way to do it? Go get a J.J. Pegues, who in college football had 21 carries, 18 of those were either a first down or a touchdown, and then you out and get an international pathway program player that's a gigantic human being that can help you in the trenches. I don't think it's the worst idea, I'll tell you that. Let's go to Phoenix King. Going to week 1 versus the Pats, I'm making a sign just for McDummy. All right, another homework assignment here to everyone watching. If you had the opportunity to go to week 1, what would you put on that sign? Best answers will get a shout-out on a future Raiders Report show. Make sure you have fun. I want to see Ashton Genty, Geno Smith do their thing. Be safe, be responsible. It is a beautiful area, though, I'll tell you that. Let's go to Rhea JB. Love the channel. Started watching you guys last season. Missed the live yesterday. Your quick thoughts on the season schedule, win projection. So I have the Raiders coming out to 9-8, which I think is a solid improvement. I think the beginning of the schedule is easier than the back half of the schedule. I mean, there's a part of me where, shout out to Trivan in our group message on Instagram was like, man, the Raiders could lose their first 4 games, which, sure. I also think that the Raiders could win their first 6 games, where I think the Commanders are obviously the tough slate in there, but I think that there's a legit opportunity to go 5-1 to start the season off. Obviously, anything can happen. The Raiders can beat anybody, and I think the Raiders can lose to anybody. I think it's one of the hard parts about judging this Raiders organization. But you do have 2 primetime games on Monday Night Football. You got a tough slate to end the season. I think that this is a good schedule, though. I am going to do a little bit of a deep dive in the Raiders' schedule, and it will be a video that you guys get because I found something that is definitely worth noting. And I hope that you guys subscribe and hope that you watch. I don't know when that video is going to go out because, again, I'm filming this on May 15th. But you're going to see something about the schedule that every single Raiders fan needs to see. Let's go to one coming in here from Peter. I saw you say something about trading Trey Taylor. What was that about? So I put something out on social media. And again, I am somebody that when I see sometimes NFL news, I just tweet about it. And it's sometimes the first thing that comes to my mind. So the first thing that came to my mind, and I don't know if y'all saw this, Darius Washington. He's a strong safety, free safety in general, for the Baltimore Ravens. He ended up tearing his Achilles a few days ago. I don't remember what day it was exactly. But the first thing that I thought of was, I wonder if Baltimore is looking for an extra safety depth. Could they be looking around the NFL? My mindset goes, Trey Taylor. So I brought up Trey Taylor's name first off because he's related to Ed Reed. That's a huge connection with the Baltimore Ravens. The second reason is he was a 7th-round pick by our previous regime. And I think most Raider fans sitting up here going, I don't want them to trade Trey Taylor. I also don't want them to trade Taylor. It's actually a tough thing to say. For that reason, we definitely shouldn't do it, right? But 7th-round pick, old regime, I'd go, all right, that could make sense why they'd want to move on. Also, the Baltimore Ravens are a team that does really value, really versatile players. Jim Thorpe Award winner. Also, John Harbaugh is somebody that has always been very dedicated to the military. Air Force is where he played. So, I'm not saying that Trey Taylor's going to get traded. Sometimes I just give you guys my honest thoughts. Think of it as like a mailbag. And again, I don't want them to trade Taylor, but I think everything that I said there could potentially make sense. If the Ravens call, offer you a 6th-round pick, you'd probably do that. Even if they offered him a 7th-round pick, they might consider it. But I do think there's a lot to be seen yet with Mr. Trey Taylor. Appreciate the question, though. If you guys haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. We're going to be pumping out mailbags all offseason long. We're going to be doing a lot more of these type of shows in the offseason. 4 live shows a week. I need y'all to pull up. See how dedicated the nation is. Let's go to the next one. Rolling in here from Simon. Yo, Simon, you ended up winning a Genty jersey. I have it written down, and I have no way of getting in contact with you. So, Simon, if you want your Ashton Genty jersey, send me a $1 Venmo. I can send it right back. I need your first, last name, because I don't think it's Simon SC. I need your shipping address, and I need your size. You're somebody I've been hunting down. Super hyped for the new looked Raider team and staff. I'm also keeping expectations grounded. Lastly, think this team can have playoff hopes. I think that this team does have playoff hopes. And to me, John Spytek is a smart guy. Pete Carroll is a smart guy. Do you agree with that statement? If you say yes to that, to me, you draft a running back at number 6 like Genty because you're confident enough in your ability to be able to make the playoffs. And whether they do, whether they don't, this is a really good football team. And I think you're going to see them be a really good football team this season. What up, your nightmare? Also, you are on the Genty jersey, so I need you to be able to hit me up. Just want to say I appreciate everything y'all do for us diehard fans. I try to watch every live, even when I'm busy. Oh, and I'm men's medium for that Genty jersey. I won like 2 weeks ago, and F McDummy. Perfect. So, medium men's for your nightmare. If you already sent me your first and last name and your shipping address, then that's awesome. But that men's medium helps. And again, anybody that won anything during the NFL draft, I am getting prepared to put in the largest order I ever have. And I'm trying to do it in one just smooth swoop. So if you haven't gotten anything yet, don't panic. You're going to get something. It's probably going to give, again, give me a month. But if you win something on this program, I promise you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Raider Rob, Mitch, would Jair Alexander be a good pickup if we can't get Ramsey? I'm good. All the reasons why I don't think the Raiders would trade for Jalen Ramsey are the exact same reasons why I don't think the Raiders would trade for Jair Alexander. We need a free safety. We need a nickel corner. Jair doesn't do those two things. On top of that, you're going to have to pay him a lot of money. And if you were to ask me, would I rather have Jair Alexander or Jalen Ramsey, this answer might surprise people. I'm going to go with Jalen Ramsey because he's been somebody that's always been looked at as being a good teammate. Jair Alexander has not been considered a good teammate over the past few seasons. Let's go to Jason Derulo. Would you rather sign Gilmore and have him play safety or trade for Ramsey and have him play safety? So I either got to sign Gilmore and have him play safety or trade for Ramsey. All right, Chugs is working on something over here. Actually, I like this idea. How about this? You got to pick one. You can either sign Stephon Gilmore or you can trade for Jalen Ramsey. Let's make this the pinned comment. Pick one. So this means you're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. Scroll on down. I'm trying to buy some time while I think of the answer that I want to give. SG for Stephon Gilmore. JR for Jalen Ramsey. Which one would you rather do? My answer coming up, hopefully, after this YouTube ad break. I'm going to go with sign Stephon Gilmore, and it's because if we're going to make these guys play a position that they've never played before, Gilmore's going to be a cheaper price. Ramsey's still probably the better player, though. Gilmore's still playing at a high level, 34 years old, and that's kind of the age that I think Ramsey would actually consider probably dropping back to safety if he's still playing. So the fact that I don't have to give up draft capital and the fact that I can sign him for probably half the price, I would just go out and do it. But if that's what you're considering, if I still got to pay Stephon Gilmore $10 million, go get Justin Simmons. Go get Julian Blackmon. There's other free safeties that we could go out and we could address that need. Let's go to Joe Seppi. What up, man? How many receiving touchdowns does Jack Besh have this season? The number that I would hope for is 4 to 5, and that's not because I don't think highly of Besh. Like, the number that's kind of just been in my mind is 40 catches, 600 yards, 4 to 5 touchdowns. But you also got to consider Genty's going to get his. Bauer's going to get his. Jacoby's going to get his. And this is going to be a football team that I do think can beat you in a lot of different ways. But if you told me right now, Jack Besh, 40 catches, 600 yards, 4 to 5 touchdowns, That's a great rookie season for the role that he's going to play. But I'd be curious to see what you guys think about Besh, how many touchdowns he's going to get. If he can be around 4 to 5, I would love where that puts the Las Vegas Raiders this season. Let's go to Autumn Win. What up, my man? I want to hear Mitch recite the Autumn Win with enthusiasm, and go ahead and send me the Rookie of the Year jersey. Best of luck to you. I can't recite the Autumn Wind. I wish I could recite the entire song. Though there was a few times I can remember on Thursday Night Football that we tried to sing it, and it was a weird song to sing. I'm not going to lie. Just because, again, not that it's a weird song to sing. I shouldn't say that. It's if you've ever watched Thursday Night Football, you'll know why it's a weird song to sing for Thursday Night Football streams. But I do know the Autumn Win. It's actually the reason why I got the tattoo that I did on my leg, which shout out to my tattoo artist again, Sayer Tattoo, one of the best in the biz. I told him that I wanted the Autumn Win on my thigh, and he's like, you want me to tattoo wind? I was like, all right, I get how that's difficult. So he tried to make the thunderstorm, which is what we had there. But, hey, man, if you want to sing the Autumn Win, I know you don't want to hear me sing because I can't sing. Chug's on the other end. He can sing. If anybody does, though, want a chance to win an Ashton Jeanty jersey, every $5 super chat or every $5 super thanks that we get in the month of May, we're going to announce the winner on May 30th when we are live. You're going to be entered in for a chance to win an Ashton Jeanty jersey. If you don't know how to super thanks, there is a button if you go on your mobile device. If you're watching this on your phone, right underneath the Raiders Report, click this button right here, and then click $5, and you're ready to rock and roll. If you're watching it on your laptop, your desktop, then you're going to see those 3 little dots right there. You click on those 3 little dots, it's going to give you a drop-down menu. Then you click Super Thanks. I know that a lot of people are busy, and I know that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to watch this show live, but I still want to give those people an opportunity to take advantage of some of the giveaways and prizes that we have. Let's go to Big Luck. What up, Big Luck? What would Ramsey cost first? I think it'd honestly be a 3rd or a 4th round pick. Now, that's me saying that after the NFL draft. I almost wonder if there would be a team that would consider giving up more. Like, for example, it was rumored that the San Francisco 49ers were very high on Darian Porter. I don't remember what they did in the draft. I'm not going to act like I do. But let's just say a team was like, man, I really want to get a corner. I want to get him high. And they're unable to do it. Does a team like that that's in that Super Bowl window go, well, now we're going to pay up a little bit more for Ramsey? Because our Dolphins host here at Chat Sports, when he originally told me he thought that it could be a 3rd round pick, that's kind of what it was. Now, this was a 3rd round pick before the draft. And if you were looking for a 3rd round pick before the draft, you're definitely still looking for a 3rd round pick after the draft. So I would say it's probably a 3rd. But if I was the Raiders, I'd go, I got a quarterback and Geno Smith for a 3rd. I don't know if I want to give up a 3rd for a 31-year-old corner. Again, good player. Got to pay him $21.1 million. I think there's other ways, though, we could allocate that money and allocate that draft resource. Let's go to Emmanuel Sanchez. Mitch, who do you think is going to cover Diggs week 1? I think it actually depends more how healthy Stephon Diggs is, because when did he get injured? So he got injured in week 6, so Chuck's told me he should be 100% healthy. He was working. Yeah, that's true. He was working out. Now that I remember those videos, he was working out with Geno Smith. I would say if you're going to get a guy like, again, where exactly are they going to put him? I would like a nickel to be placed on him, but then again, I don't love our nickel talent. I would imagine he's the number 1 receiver, and if he's the number 1 receiver, you're probably going to put your number 1 guy, which I would say is Ja'Cory Bennett. Let's let him see what the young man can do. What up, Christian Tate? What was your favorite Raiders schedule release, Skip? Oh, man, we were actually just talking about this live. I would say number 1's the Chiefs because they were pulling out flags left and right. I thought the tush push for the Eagles was funny. I love the Chargers one where they were kind of trolling them for not having any Super Bowl trophies. I do think Jackson Powers Johnson made fun of the Jags and the whole Duval thing. That was funny to me. The Blue Man Group I thought was creative for the New York Giants. This Raiders schedule release was by far the best it's ever been. And I tip my cap to the Raiders for being creative this year because I've said it before, and I'm not afraid to say it. I think the people that run the Raiders social media maybe don't have the best idea of what it takes to be successful at social media. And I've also said that whoever runs the Raiders YouTube channel has no idea how to run a YouTube channal. Like I actually jokingly think if the Raiders hired Chugs and I, they could get rid of everybody else that does their YouTube channel, and we would make 10 times the amount of money, which that might be a bad thing to say, but I think it's the truth. I think that they would make 10 times the amount of what they're making now, and it wouldn't even be tough. Let's go to Can't Walk. Question for the nation. What are we looking forward to that hasn't been mentioned yet? Oh, man. Hasn't been mentioned yet? I mean, I guess we could go like very surface level, and mandatory minicamp is June 10th. More practices are about to start May 19th. I also love the fact that, you got players already, guys like Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers-Johnson. They're already working out at the facility, and they're getting in there, and they're putting in that time and the effort. But I also love that because not every single NFL team is going to have that. Like, there's still some rookies that are holding out that don't want to participate until that contract gets done. And then you got the Raiders where they're only one rookie away. I believe Jack Besh is the only Raider rookie that is still yet to sign his contract officially. But Besh is out there working. This team's already putting in that time. They're already putting in the effort. And I was talking to a Raiders player earlier in the week, and they literally told me, like, it's different in terms of competition and just the energy that's being brought on the field. Because I did have one of the rookies tell me that he thought Pete Carroll was one of the nicest human beings that he's ever met. And this was a player that literally told me, he's like, I grew up watching Pete. And all of us grew up watching Pete Carroll coach at USC, watch Pete, coach for the Seattle Seahawks, the Legion of Boom. But how personable Pete Carroll is something that fires up a lot of these guys early on, because AP did bring that. But I don't think AP had the respect, let's just be honest, that Pete Carroll brings to the table. And I also know that players didn't love the way that Josh McDaniels and that staff treated people, because they treated them the way I think like Bill Belichick treated people in New England, where, they were treating guys like, we've been there, done that, we won 6 Super Bowls. This is a staff that already, you see it, players are getting in there, players want to get in there, players want to compete, and I think that that's something that could separate teams, because everybody's athletic, everybody's great in the NFL. What's going to be that 1%? And I'm hoping the Raiders already putting in that time and the effort, May, June, and July, is going to be that 1% that separates them. What up, Jeremy Cole? PC had the highlighter uniforms in Seattle. Maybe we get all black unis at home. This might be an unpopular opinion, because I know how Raider fans are. I would love all black uniforms. I would love all silver uniforms. I would love all white uniforms. I think the Raiders have the best colors in the National Football League. Silver and black, I don't think that you could do anything wrong with it, and I would love to see it. Honestly, and I would love to see the gold, because one of the old school Raiders jerseys they used to have, like way, way back in the day, there was a little bit of gold in there. I think Vegas has kind of got some gold in it as well. I think that the Raiders could do more with their jerseys. Now, again, that is coming from me. I know that there's a lot of fans out there like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. My other standpoint would be the Raiders for the past few years have been broken. And if it takes getting some sweet jerseys to maybe crack a curse or two, I'm fine with it. But all black, all white, all silver, I am team we can get a new jersey. I know that rubs a lot of Raiders fans the wrong way. I think one of the easiest ways that you can tell the age of a Raiders fan without asking them how old are you is by going, are you okay with an all-black Raiders jersey? Helmet included. If you're over the age of 50, you probably hate that idea. If you're under the age of 50, you're like, all right, man, let's do it. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. If I did end up missing your question, though, I apologize. You can blame Chugs. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, at MitchellRenz365. I will do my best to answer questions. Again, I always try to go in my DMs, but I also am a very honest person, and I get married. By the time you guys watch this video, I might be getting married in less than 20 days. I have we have some sort of couples shower this weekend, so I'm not going to have as much time, but just understand that I'm getting married. I'm getting ready to go through something really big in my life, which takes a little bit of time away from the nation. I will always put the nation up there, and I promise you that. But if I don't get to your questions in the next 3 weeks, bear with me a little bit and at least understand that I'm getting married. Honeymoon's coming up. This offseason, I will do my best. Cool part, though, you're still going to get videos every single day. That's a promise to you. So hopefully you guys appreciate that.